Hi, Ben Bogardus here, real estate agent with Homespun Realty, based in Asheville, working all across the Western North Carolina mountains. Today, we're going to discuss the different pieces of an offer and the home purchasing process. I'm going to share my screen here. Imagine this line is the home purchasing process. At the end, we have closing, when the buyer pays in full for the property. However, before this, we have this whole time period where between when the property buyer puts the property under contract and the closing date. The important thing to note here is that putting a property under contract does not mean that a buyer is paying for it right away. They have this period called the due diligence period in order to fully investigate the property to make sure they want it at 100%. Doing things like property inspection, survey, an appraisal, anything that the buyer would need to do to make sure 100% they want the property, they had this due diligence time to do that. Key idea here is, again, putting a property under contract does not mean paying for it. If a buyer has a property that checks all their boxes and their gut is telling them that this could be the property for them, it's important to go ahead and put that property under contract, because what may happen is that if they begin doing due diligence before putting the property under contract, another buyer might come along and put the property under contract in front of them, giving that second buyer control of the property and making it so that first buyer is no longer able to put that property under contract. The key financial piece for an offer is the overall purchase price. However, before this, there are two other pieces of an offer that come into play. The first is the due diligence fee. This is a fee that's optional and negotiable, paid directly to the seller when a property is put under contract. It's basically a fee for the seller to give the buyer control of the property. Second piece is called the earnest money. This is put into escrow when a property goes under contract. And at the end of the due diligence period, this money goes hard, meaning that it will go to the seller whether or not the buyer completes paying the transaction and closes on the property. If and when the property closes, both the due diligence fee and the earnest money go towards the purchase price. Here are all the pieces of the offer in a nutshell. All of these are negotiable. And if you'd like to know more about the specific details of each of these pieces and all the other parts that go into an offer, feel free to give me a call, 828-793-0464, and we can discuss further. Again, this is Ben Bogardus with Homespun Realty here in the mountains. Hope to cross paths soon.